For over a century, there was only one way to break a mountain. If miners needed to remove solid rock, they drilled deep into it, packed the holes with explosives, and blasted everything apart. It was fast, incredibly powerful, and for a very long time, nobody found a better solution. So why did engineers spend millions of dollars building a machine to replace something that already worked? Because blasting has one problem. It destroys far more than the rock you actually want to remove. Near highways, railroads, pipelines, factories, or active mines, every explosion creates vibration, dust, flying debris, and hours of preparation before anyone can safely work again. And sometimes, you simply can't afford that. That problem led to one of the most unusual mining machines ever built. The Vermeer Surface Miner doesn't explode rock, it eats it. Instead of drills and dynamite, it uses a massive rotating drum covered with tungsten carbide teeth. As those teeth spin against the surface, they grind through solid rock a few inches at a time, turning what was once a mountain into crushed material ready to be collected. Watching it work almost feels wrong. There's no explosion, no flying boulders, just an enormous machine calmly carving through stone that would normally require tons of explosives. But grinding through a mountain this slowly raises another question. If blasting is faster, why would anyone choose this? The answer is precision. A surface miner removes only the rock engineers want to remove. It leaves a smooth surface behind, produces material with a more consistent size, and allows work to continue in places where explosives would simply be too dangerous or too disruptive. That's why you'll often find these machines building roads, cutting through limestone, mining phosphate, or working only a few hundred feet away from infrastructure that could never survive repeated blasting. Of course, none of that comes cheap. Machines like this can cost well over $1 million, and operating one requires fuel, maintenance, replacement cutting teeth, and a skilled operator. At first glance, it sounds like an impossible investment, until you compare it with the alternative. A blasting operation doesn't just use explosives. It also needs drilling equipment, blast planning, safety procedures, inspections, work stoppages, and often additional crushing before the rock can even be transported. On projects where precision matters, eliminating those extra steps can save enormous amounts of time and money. It can also reduce the size of the crew needed for the excavation itself. While the exact numbers depend on the project, one machine can often replace several specialized operations that would otherwise have to be coordinated separately. So, does it actually pay for itself? Not on every project. If the goal is simply removing huge amounts of rock in the middle of nowhere, explosives are still hard to beat. But if every blast means delays, restrictions, damaged rock, or risks to nearby infrastructure, the calculation changes completely. Suddenly, the million-dollar machine becomes the cheaper option. And that's why the Vermeer Surface Miner wasn't designed to replace explosives everywhere. It was designed to replace them only where explosives become the expensive solution.